Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us in London. Thanks so much for taking the time. Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to Club Zero for people who haven't seen the film yet. What can they expect?
I would say that's a very amazing movie. I really like it. It's about a teacher in a school that is telling the children, learning them about nutrition and eating behaviors and so. And then it turns out that this teacher is kind of seducing the children to eat less and less. The children and the teacher then form a kind of sect or a group that is really getting in distance to the rest of the society.
When you were approached with this concept, with the idea of this project, what was your first thought and what appealed to you about soundtracking it?
The thing is that Jessica and me, we're a couple since a long time. So for me, every project she's doing, every new film, she always has ideas for 3 or 4 films, and she's talking to me about what I think about this idea, well, you know, and then after some time, it turned out she wants to make that movie, the Club Zero movie. I always think Jessica is very right in the decisions she does concerning the relevance of it for society, and even I see it in that movie that this kind of seduction theme and the kind of eating disorder and all that kind of things is a very present issue. It was very interesting to work on that project, on a very specific project, and it was the first time for her to have an own composer for a movie of her, because up to that movie she always took the sound that happened naturally in the movie, but were not composed and so. And so that was a kind of a first try for the both of us, because for me, I didn't do a soundtrack for a movie before. I have a band. I do a lot of live concerts and things. I'm also a producer, music producer, and Jessie, as I said, she never worked together with a composer, and so that was the fun for us to find out. Okay, as couple, how able are we to cooperate, and how will this work out? And obviously it worked out fine.
The thing you noticed immediately about the film is it's very stylized, both kind of in the tone. It's got this kind of satirical, deadpan tone, and also aesthetically. And the soundtrack is also very distinctive. What does that process look like? What comes first? And when you saw how the film was going to look, the tone it was going to be, how did that inform how you wrote the music?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Interesting thing for both of us was concerning the soundtrack. Technically, what does it mean? Can you make a soundtrack before the shooting? Is that possible? Does it make sense? And I did. I have to say, some parts were done before the shooting, just going out from the script. But it turned out that this is difficult, because to make it before, you never know what the tempo and the rhythm of this movie is. This turns out during the editing process. I found out that during the editing process, I was a lot in their editor's room and talked to them, and they asked me, hey, for this scene, we need some kind of this sound and that sound. So, well, what I want to say is it makes sense, much more sense, to make the music when the editing process is going on. So yeah, the style of Jessica's movies is a kind of it's an art piece. And art means that you refer to the fact that everything is a construction. That means in her movies you can see that it's a construction, and that is a thing that in my work as a musician and as I'm also a writer is also very important, to transport the idea that everything we do is a construction, and that you can feel this, or that you can understand that. So, and that's it. That's a platform where the two of us have a similar understanding of arts, and so. And concerning the music, we were talking a lot about that the music shouldn't be kind of a background thing, as you have that usually in movies, that empowers the mood of the moment, and so. But should be an own. Should tell its own story, is situated on an own platform. So, and that for me was very interesting as a musician to do it that way. And then in getting more into the details, we were thinking about, okay, what kind of sound should this be? And I was thinking about because this scenario in the movie, the school, you see, it's very much in the Western world and Western tradition and so on. And I thought it would be interesting to bring something in that comes from somewhere else, even if you don't know where this somewhere is, but somewhere from outside. I have a collection of instruments that I collected on tours when we were touring in Asia and things. So, and I used to buy instruments when we were touring, and so I have a collection of string instruments from Vietnam and from Siberia, and so, and I tried to make a sound that it comes from, maybe you can guess, okay, maybe it's Asia, but from, as I said, from nowhere, but not from the West typically. So that was my idea.
The way the drums are used, and there's something foreboding about how that sounds, and maybe that's also tapping into the idea of different movements, maybe like Hare Krishna, where they have the chants and they have the drums playing. So were there sort of specific sources of that, or was that something more general that you were taking on, and what were the technicalities of putting that together? I
tried to make a music that for me, the very interesting thing is the connection between handmade music, drumming, and so, how to say, trance feeling or so. You can get, when you play instruments with the hands and you get in kind of, I don't know, trance meditation or that kind of thing. The same you can have with techno music, with electronical made music, and this connection interested me. So, but I didn't want to have it too much a spiritual flavor. So I thought it should be dry and cool. So I hope that worked out. I mean, I also, the string instruments and the drums and the vocals, these are the three main tools we had in the sound. I tried, to keep it cool. I hope that worked.
And in terms of what people can take away from watching the film, it does seem to, it hits on a lot of themes I think are very relevant to a contemporary society in terms of how we can be seduced in to sort of answers or solutions to the sort of chaos of our world. How do you think the music sort of adds to how that the film demonstrates that?
As I said before, the music is going on his own rail or trail or so. I don't know if that's possible to find a direct connection to the question about seduction or not. I don't know. What we all try is when we make art to make a thing as best as we can, and then the interpretation, it should be as good, that the interpretation can follow different directions, how to say so. Music is always seductive, or tries to be, and I try to make a music that's not so seductive.
What can you tell us you might be working on next? You're saying you've never done a soundtrack before. What do you think you learnt from this process? Is it something you'd love to do again? And what will you take from this experience into your next project?
It was just 1 year ago. I got an information, and they said to me, "Oh, congratulations, you got the European Film Award for your soundtrack. And I said, what? What's going on here? Because I didn't expect it at all, that they gave me the highest prize you can get. Because, I mean, we've been at the Oscars. The Oscars, for sure, it's more famous. And so, but European Film Award is quite a thing. And we went to Berlin, and there was big gala, and they gave me this prize. And so I thought, what's going on here? It was my first soundtrack, and they gave me the most renommee prize for that. And so, and and that means to me, okay, what I do here, yeah, it seems to be quite okay. and we're already talking about Jessica's next project, and in which direction soundtrack could go and sound could go. And I also can say that I got the invitation of another director, female director, to make the soundtrack for her next movie. So there are 2 projects in the pipeline in the moment. But also, as I said, I'm a writer, and I have a band, touring band, and so yeah, there's a lot going on. I like it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with me. Yeah. Congratulations on the film and your European Film Award, and best of luck with your next projects. Thank you.
Thank you.